it's me, Celia. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a reading about MyKayla Skinner and Simone Biles. So I'm a gymnastics fan. Not like crazy, but I used to do gymnastics in high school. So yeah, I'm interested in this drama. If you don't know, what happened was, okay, so MyKayla Skinner was in the 2020 Olympics, and she was in the Olympics because Simone Biles she dropped out because she got the twisties. So then MyKayla came in, she got silver and vault. And yeah, that was 2020, but there's been drama between MyKayla and the gymnastics community since 2017, maybe further back. So she has been accused of making racist comments, but whether or not that was her intention, we don't know. But she definitely has been a mean girl and has a history of putting her foot in her mouth, and I just kind of want to understand what's up. There was this one thing that happened when she didn't qualify for a team. The picture of the people who qualified were taken together and posted somewhere, and apparently a fan of MyKayla's put her picture over another gymnast's face, and then MyKayla saw it and liked it, and she got called out for that. And then she just kind of always double backtracks. She backtracks and is like, I didn't mean that, that's not what was going on, and whatever. So recently on her YouTube channel, she made a comment that the gymnastics team that went to the Olympics this year, 2024, I think she said something like they lack talent and depth and skill or something, or dedication. I'm not sure which of these she said, but definitely talent and depth. And she said everybody lacked that except for Simone Biles. So people kind of called her out for it. Apparently MyKayla said she reached out individually to the people on the team and said she was sorry, and she said Simone was the only one who got back to her about that. So whatever. She also said that safe sport, which are practices to prevent what happened with the predatory doctor Larry Nassar, as well as other sort of mean things I don't know what, the harsh coaching styles of the Carollis, for instance. So there's this thing called safe sport. I really don't know a lot about it, but apparently she said that well, you can't blame the team for being so talentless because safe sport isn't here. Safe sport is preventing decent coaching, which is very weird to say. So drama kind of went on. There was more things that she said and did. And after the US team or somebody, I'm not sure what happened. How big of a gymnastics fan am I? Because I don't even remember what happened in the 2024 Olympics, and it was just weeks away. But I mean, honestly, what happened with me watching the Olympics is that the commercials annoyed me so much. I couldn't stand the commercials, and so I stopped watching the Olympics, which is really, really silly because I'm sure I could watch all of the clips somewhere else. Anyways, I checked out. I think they won. Whatever happened, Simone captured her picture of the team winning by saying, we're the winners, the talentless gymnasts with lack of depth and skill, which is a direct dig at MyKayla. And so then a lot of people were going to MyKayla and sending her criticism. MyKayla went online and was in my opinion, very fake type tears, stressed about it and asking Simone to tell her fans to stop sending her death threats and things. So MyKayla said that she was cyberbullied as a result from this, and it's girl, you were the one who was saying shit. Yeah, so I just want to take a look at this, mostly out of entertainment. I am nosy. I just want to see what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card for MyKayla and Simone and the energy in between. So we have the Warrior of Air, which is the Knight of Swords reversed. The Two of Waters, that's the energy in between them. The Two of Cups reversed. And let me see if I can, yeah, that's on there. The Chariot reversed for Simone. So MyKayla being the warrior, or no, the Page of Air reversed. I think I said Knight of Swords, but that's not right. It's the Page of Swords in Rider-Waite-Smith reversed. So I think that she's kind of unfocused and a little in her head. She misses social cues and is kind of like, I'm getting, not to be overly gendered or stereotypical, but yet I'm gonna be. This is kind of like elementary school boy with ADHD, very compulsive, impulsive sort of feelings from this Page of Air reversed. Yeah, it's her putting her foot in her mouth and not really thinking things through, being really reactionary. But I'm seeing not necessarily mean-spirited in this, but being just a little childish. Simone being the Chariot reverse makes sense because I think the dynamic between the two of them is that MyKayla had her moment in the sun because Simone Biles dropped out of the Tokyo Olympics because she had the twisties. So that's literally the cedar is about, or let me see. Yeah, so the Chariot and a cedar is she was really stable, but then her stability was lost, and that's why she dropped out of the Olympics. And because of that, MyKayla was able to come up through the ranks because she wasn't qualified for the Olympics, and she was a backup or something. I don't know all the details, but if Simone never dropped out, MyKayla never would have been able to be in there. And then in between them is the Two of Cups reversed, Mallow. And to me, this is just bad feelings between the two. They definitely do not get along. Okay, so this is it's so hard to translate this. This is the Warrior of Air reversed, the Knight of Swords reversed. The Seven of Air reversed, Eucalyptus. So that's the Seven of Swords reversed, and then the Magician reversed, Sunflower. I see her as being a debate lord and getting tied up in the semantics. I think that's why so many of her apologies, she's had to do so many apologies, and they're not all, but from what I could see, some of her apologies at least were I'm sorry you were offended by what you thought was racist, but I didn't mean it that way, and that is very much a Warrior of Air reverse sort of thing to say. Conversations are not something that she has as an exchange or an expression. It's a fight that she has to win. And I think that she is kind of in over her head about all the online rhetoric, not rhetoric, but online discussion about her. As she sees it as exhausting, and she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't have a good strategy for rectifying her online persona and her social media accounts, because she is trying to be an influencer, and I don't think it's going very well. It's funny that the Seven of Air reversed Eucalyptus is here because she is a Mormon and she has sold essential oils MLMs to her social media following, or and then she liked somebody's MLM and got a lot of backlash about that. And there's even essential oils in here. So, yeah, no offense to Mormons. I've met Mormons who are nice, but as you know, like as a whole, there's a lot of shadow things there, and MLMs are no exception for that. So having the Seven of Air reversed, like this is a still, and it should be like, there's a certain amount of like pressure and heat that like distills the oil so it can like be dropped down and collected, separated from the water, to like take out the essential oil of a plant. And why am I burping? Having it reversed makes me think that she has like this pressure buildup in her that is really hard to dispel. And I think it comes out as her getting into fights, being just in general like reactionary, and yeah, really, really like defensive and offensive, both. I think gymnastics was probably a really good tool for her to like manage that pressure in her system, because you have to focus. It like gives her something to focus on, because you have to just keep doing the physical activity again and again and lots of repetition. And I feel like without her being involved in the sport or having that regular outlet, like her pressure is kind of, it's gonna exacerbate like the amount of pressure she feels within herself. I wonder if she's like a Sagittarius, because I just know Sagittariuses sometimes need to like get out tension in their body through exercise. But even if that's not her, I think there's something about the repetitious nature of gymnastics and like that detail, nitpicky sort of thing that gave her a good channel to like, or a good avenue to channel her kind of like impulsive, obsessive nature mentally. The Magician reversed, Sunflower, she did not get a chance to like show her magic or like demonstrate her abilities to the world. So I feel like she is kind of upset about the way that her career went, which maybe that's why she liked the fact that somebody put her picture in an image of like the people who qualified for the 2020 Olympics or whatever that was. I don't remember what exactly it was, because she really wanted that. And seeing the Magician reversed, I think that she's trying really hard to like pull strings or like manipulate the narrative, or even in her mind like make these kind of cognitive distortions that things went a different way than they did. Like she really wants things to go a certain way, and I think that she's really trying to like muscle things, you know, like she didn't get a chance to really shine as much as she wanted as a gymnast. And so now she's trying to do it with her social media, and just really, really trying. I see her like spinning her wheels, and it's kind of causing her like more pain than benefit. Okay, so we have the Six of Cups, Ace of Air reversed, Yarrow, and the Hermit. I think that she is feeling isolated, as well as maybe she needs to cut ties and go inwards. But having it next to like the Ace of Air reversed, I don't think she wants to cut ties. I think there's more that she wants to say and express herself, but she is finding that like with the backlash and online criticism about her, that she is having to hold her tongue, and I don't think she likes that. The Six of Waters, Six of Cups, I kind of see her going to her family, or like a mom type figure. I know that her coach was with her, and apparently like her coach in Arizona apparently spared her, or like somehow inadvertently or purposefully protected her from the abuse from Larry Nassar, because, is that his name, Larry? Yeah. Because the coach said that she went to, she always attended MyKayla's doctor appointments with her. There was like a little bit of an open space for that not to happen, because the coach was like, I'm pretty sure I attended, but maybe there was some that she didn't, but she couldn't think of it off the top of her head. So I don't know, I kind of felt like there was some weird wounding vibes there. And you know, whether or not she was abused is not really the question. Like, it's still like something that rippled through the gymnastics community, and I feel like it did, you know, it was like trauma that everybody had to deal with. Like, even if you were a gymnast really a long time ago or in the future, it's like something you have to think about, and you know, rightfully so, but it's just kind of exposing like a darkness and a sadness and shady things, and I don't know, it sounds weird, but I think she was kind of hurt about it, but she kind of pushes that aside, and I don't know if that's because she's in some sort of denial or what, or just like she doesn't know how to process that. I don't feel like she's been properly therapized. Not that everybody needs to go to therapy, but oh my god, I really don't want to be like that, but you know, that's kind of like, what's the word, vicarious trauma. And also there's like attention, and people are like wondering about her. I don't think she handled that well, is what I'm getting. And then I see like some sort of mother figure, or it could be her family, so it could be her coach or maybe her family, really is like what she leans on. And I feel like they know that she's not capable of like coping and dealing, kind of want to protect her and like keep her quiet. Like, they might be saying, hey, you shouldn't, like her family or her coach might be trying to like put her in another direction of like, maybe you shouldn't be on social media, maybe it's too much for you. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a protective energy there. But I kind of see her like, fighting back is not the word, but like she has something she wants to get out, and so it's hard for her to like cope with the idea of stopping. Just overall, I think her energy feels just very impulsive, compulsive, put her foot in her mouth, blurting, ADHD a little bit, a lot of wounding, a lot of unmet needs. It's kind of like a wonder that she got as far as she did, and I don't mean that to shade her at all, or anybody else who's gone through similar things, but maybe it's because she has had family that has helped her. Okay, so Wheel of Fortune, Kitchen Garden, Four of Water, Eight of Water, Valerian. So I think this is kind of related to how Simone feels about this. Like, the Wheel of Fortune, I think, is Simone thinking that MyKayla does this. This is like her pattern. Like, she always is mean, and she always says nasty shit, and she always does the wrong thing, and she, you know, does something problematic, and then she asks for forgiveness, then we give it to her, and then she does it again, and I think she's kind of sick of it. This Four of Water makes me think like Simone thinks that MyKayla is not part of the group, and she never will be part of the group. This is very much giving like Kendrick Lamar and Drake, like not like us sort of things, but it's because of what MyKayla has brought to the table. And you know how like mint can just take over a garden spot? MyKayla has overstepped boundaries so many times that I think they need to, Simone's putting like a hard stop to it. Yeah, she wants to put this behavior to rest. I think that's why she posted it on Instagram, just to be like, shut up. And if you ask Simone, she would probably, because she's very good at being media trained. I mean, I don't know if she's been media trained, but she's pretty good in interviews and stuff, and she has a good personality that, she can say what she wants to say pretty well, and people respect her and listen to her. I think she just wants this to be put to a stop, and I think she would say she's doing it for MyKayla's own good, but in reality, I don't really think Simone cares that much about MyKayla. I think years ago, she realized that this friendship that was never ever going to happen. She's not a team player. I'm very much seeing Simone as like the team captain. I mean, she's got to be, right? Or like the team lead. I don't know if they have that, but they used to have team captains in gymnastics and stuff. So whether she is officially the captain or not, she definitely is like one of the most decorated and greatest athletes maybe of all time. I don't know, definitely within the gymnastics world. So I think she's kind of taking some authority, but not wrongly, and just being like, you can't be like this in our sport. You cannot put yourself out like this. And it may seem that Simone is being petty, but I think this is her way of protecting everybody that she's with and just putting this to bed with MyKayla. Temperance, reversed, Camellia. Two of Air, Chicory, reversed. And Mother of Earth, reversed, Crystal Bush. So having the Temperance reversed with T, I love this card, like the idea of a tea ceremony or something that you share with somebody and you present, but it's like, no, there's no cordialness between us. We do not see eye to eye. We never will. You're not welcome to my tea house. You're done. So I think it's just, nothing is gonna work out between them. But I think MyKayla is feeling that, like, oh crap, what am I gonna do? The Two of Air reversed. I think she's gonna have to make a choice, but I don't think she wants to. So earlier in the reading, or like a little bit ago, when I saw this Six of Waters forage, and I was feeling like this protective, nurturing energy around her, like maybe she goes home to her family, maybe she has a close relationship to like a sister or an aunt or her coach or something. I almost think that she would be better suited to have less of a flashy star type sort of life, I mean like, don't be online and try to be an influencer. She might do better if she was like a coach to like young kids or something, or like worked in a gym. And I know that she has kids, or at least one. I know she tried to be a family vlogger with her husband, and it was an absolute freaking disaster. It was so weird. It's like, just, yeah, there were some Mormon, like ex-mormon, an ex-mormon channel that I watch that was going over her content, and it's so bad. Just like, not everybody needs to be an influencer. Not everybody needs to have, not every single Mormon needs to have like a family relationship podcast, okay? I see her kind of spiraling, because you know how I think she has like, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, like, I don't really know her. I'm sure she's fine and wonderful. This is just, pulling cards. I'm just making a guess here. I really don't know, but like I feel that her energy is kind of, I'm like, no offense to anybody with ADHD. I have many of these qualities myself. But like I feel like what she's grasping for is in this Mother of Earth reversed is like slipping through her hands, and it's kind of like fading away. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna pan out, and sadly I see her really spiral. Okay, so I'm being drawn to this memory of when I was like one of the very few times in my life where I was depressed. I have a lot of health issues. I don't have a lot of like depression and anxiety issues, which I think is interesting considering like how prone I am to like feel bad. But any case, one time I was really depressed after I graduated high school, and I'm just being shown like this image of I would get done with work at night. I worked at this gas station, like closing assistant manager, which was a really fun job actually. So I'd finish work at 11:30 and I couldn't drive home. I needed more time to emote and like just like really feel my feelings very intensely and process things. I wasn't trying to, but basically I would just drive around at like 11:30 to 12:30 at night, and this Matchbox 20 song would come on in the car, and it reminds me of that song. Came into my head as it was called like Bent. Can you help me? I'm bent. I'm so scared that I'll never get put back together. Yeah, I feel like just kind of her relationship is coming in. Yeah, she's in a rough spot. I really do think she is spiraling. If she keeps putting her foot in her mouth, it's probably because she's not doing well. She would do well like with having somebody kind of hold her down, or like be like, hey, you want to post something online, like give it to me first and I'll approve it. Or like she just needs to slow her roll a little bit. So let's see if we can find like what is she gonna do, and like is there any way to rectify the situation, messages that might be useful for us, or like anything regarding how she can like move on or heal. The Ace of Earth reversed, Nettle. 8 of Fire, Ginger. 10 of Air, Alfalfa. All these are reversed. So I see with the Ace of Earth reversed, Nettle, that she is obsessed and keeps thinking about and keeps replaying things in her mind of like who said what, and conversations, and like what she could have said and what could have happened, as well as what did happen. Like she's replaying these scenarios over and over again, and it reminds me of like a trauma response where, you know, things are literally stored in the body and it's kind of stuck there. Yeah, there's a need to like compost the physical experience of what she went through. It needs to be like returned to the earth, and that's a very slow process. Composting takes a long time. It's not like lighting a match and the ashes are scattered. You know, it could take years. But I think that would be useful. So this is like just the continual practice of composting, or like letting go, or I don't know, something like that. Working with the body, that would be something positive. If she's not practicing, she could be. I see her dancing. Yeah, because I'm thinking about this nettle just like getting really tall and leggy and like falling over and swaying in the wind. And yeah, I see her dancing. You know how like I'm truly somebody who was around in the 90s, because I remember watching these like gymnastic shows on TV, and I think it was like JC Phelps did a beam routine to music, Pink Floyd, Learning to Fly. It just was a fun thing. I think it was like Reese's. Oh, I can't believe I remember that. But if she could be part of an exhibition, or like travel, or like put on a camp for kids, or I don't know what, I really see her working with little kids, like not even people who are competing, but like, you know, teaching somebody how to do a cartwheel for the first time. Like they're 3, 4, 5 years old, you know, like just basic sort of things where it's about like the joy of movement. And I see her dancing, but I know it's hard for those Mormons to kind of get down when you have your undergarments. Just kidding. You're allowed to not wear your undergarments for things like competitive gymnastics and probably other sports as well. Okay, so the 8 of Fire reversed. She just needs to put a lid on it. Whenever I see this, it's like the pan is squelching the fire. She needs to really freaking rein it in and like just cool her hot head. You know, I don't know how she's gonna do that, but it needs to be done. She needs like a hobby. It's funny because part of her podcast, or yeah, that's being filmed, is like her and her husband, and I think that they're like, between them is like the worst decorations you can imagine. And I know I'm being really harsh, but you should check it out if you're wondering. But like, I think it's like knives like on like a rack, or like a magnetic strip, or it could be pans, like cast iron pans hanging between them. The kitchen is not going to be a good thing for her. I don't think she should become a trad wife sort of thing. Oh man, I just heard she's not that creative, so it would be hard for her to pivot into like arts and crafts for kids or something. That's why she wants to be a mommy blogger, and I mean, maybe not mommy blog, but yeah, it's gonna be rough. I don't know what she's gonna do. That's up for her to decide. I don't know. Does she even need to do anything? Okay. Anyways, my need to like figure out what she should do is really interesting, and my confusion about it. I think that's how she feels. She doesn't really know what her options are. But I do see her like working with little kids. That's all. I don't know. Maybe it's 1 week a year at like summer school. Okay, and then the 10 of Air reversed, alfalfa. These cards in particular are giving me like this feeling that she's sensitive in a lot of ways, and sensitive doesn't always mean you're a delicate flower who's super sweet and kind, you know? I mean, a lot of highly sensitive people and empaths are like super mean because they're like so easily wounded. You know, and like their boundaries are all weird, and they're very sensitive to rejection, and like have low self-esteem, and get really distracted. Anyways, I feel like I just heard she needs more, like, she's too dried out. Like, I think she used to live in Arizona. I don't know, maybe she lives somewhere normal, like temperate. But I don't know. I just am getting the fact that she needs to be cooled and moistened. I don't know what that means. Whether it's metaphorically, whether it's from a Ayurvedic perspective, or whether it's like literal. She needs to like go to a cold ocean, or that's too windy though. She needs to go to like a temperate rainforest. But in any case, she's like very irritated, and her nerves are like shot. But I think there's an opportunity here to kind of rise up, and there's some strength with Alfalfa, even if it's in reversed. It's like, you know, there's something about her that she can maybe feel like she is some sort of survivor, or that she has gone through something and she's coming out on the other side. There's kind of a hope for recovery. I mean, there's also a potential for some sort of relapse, whatever that would be, whether it's just, you know, cyclical thinking or being, you know, obsessed with something. I don't really know, but she's kind of giving me the vibes of Chrissy Teigen a little bit, of like she can't control herself. Although unlike Chrissy Teigen, I think that MyKayla has a little bit more going for her, because I still see her like crawling into like a mom's lap or her coach's lap or somebody, I don't know if it's metaphorical or real, but crawling into somebody's lap and just sobbing alligator tears and being comforted. So I think she has some sort of potential to you know, process what went on and hopefully like come out better on the other side. So yeah, that's my reading about MyKayla Skinner and Simone Biles situation. All right, bye.